Hey, Natsu here. Today, going to go and do part 5 of What If Deku was Cell. In the last part, I ended it right before they chose their names, and then went to the agencies. Sorry about that. So, like I said in the end of the last part, Deku just keeps the name that he gave himself, Cell, and goes with that. His hero suit, well, like I said. So, yeah. Deku hears about Ida's, injured brother. And then All Might goes to talk with Bakugo, tell him about Gran Torino, and then tells him he has one other student to see for something different. What's happening is that he's going to go ask Deku this time. Because, Gran Torino basically heard of, Bakugo from All Might, but All Might also told him about Izuku, Cell. And Gran Torino, hearing that this kid basically had, was an experiment, and that eating a Nomu basically made him supposedly as strong as this All Might. In fact, he's a bit stronger, but not from too much. And it's mostly because of all of the different quirks that are in him. So, All Might basically went and asked Deku if he could go with Bakugo to Gran Torino's agency. With Deku telling him no. The reason for him saying that is actually because he already decided that he was going to go to Endeavor's agency. Basically just to, stay close to Shoto. Reason for that is pretty simple. He basically saw how strong Shoto was when he actually used both his quirks, and decided that he would try and help him go over the daddy issues, as well as if anything happens, Deku can basically protect Shoto from his own dad, or protect his Endeavor from Shoto. Or if need be to stop one of them from trying to kill the other. All Might says that's not going to happen, and Deku just says, it might not going to happen, but just in case, I prefer to be there. Which All Might basically says, fine. And then they go. So, when Deku arrives at Gran Torino's agency, first thing that happens is Gran Torino doesn't even acknowledge the presence of Deku at first, until some of the other heroes in his agency basically says that there's another one, with Gran Torino grunting and saying, yes, I know. And basically looking at Cell and telling him that he's going to have to work hard. Which Deku just said, actually, I'm here to train this guy, basically pointing to Shoto, with Endeavor being a bit mad and then asking what he means. With Deku saying, every other student in our class except 4. Your son, Ida, Momo, and Tokoyami. Those 4 didn't come. But everyone else came, and in a single week, those that already had the potential of being stronger than your kid actually got the chance to prove it. So now I'm coming to train him directly. If you don't like it, then fight me. Shoto basically not knowing, well, he fought him straight on, but Deku was holding back quite a lot, and just used just enough power to overpower him. Plus the edit of every other quirk that he used in that moment basically made it look as if his quirks were the reason he was able to beat him, not his physical strength. And Shoto basically told Deku that he shouldn't try to do this, his dad will basically kill him, with Deku laughing at this and saying, "You saw what I did, right?" With Shoto basically telling, "What do you mean?" With Deku looking at him and telling him, "At the USJ. You know what I did there, right?" What did I do there? And firstly, he started trying to think of what Deku did, until it clicked. He ate the monster made to kill All Might, right? He didn't basically say it out loud, well, that part, but he did say the Nomu. With Deku basically just making a ringing sound like ding ding ding. And it basically just clicked a bit more in Shoto's head. The power of the Nomu made him grow and change into what he is right now. So, the power of the Nomu is basically given to Deku with his already formidable strength, which was basically made to be already a killer, well, already made to kill All Might, but he basically wasn't as powerful as the other Nomu before. He's still not as strong as what they will be. Well, the high-end Nomus. Like, the other Nomu he would eat wouldn't really change that much. It would basically be as if he was eating a human. So, Deku basically just told him, I would be fine fighting anyone. With Shoto basically just thinking about it, and yeah, if he would be able to beat All Might, he could beat, well, no, if he ate something that would beat All Might, he could be as strong, if not stronger than him right now. Making his own dad basically, well, weaker. Making Shoto think, yeah, the best person to train me would be the guy who was able to train the entire class in a single week to be, well, that strong. Since he was able to experience, well, the strength that they all had, well, saw the boost that they had, basically. Because for some reason, Shoto is kind of able to say correctly when someone actually got stronger, so he knows it there. And in the end, he basically just said, yeah, I think I'm going to train with Cell. With Endeavor being mad from this, because, well, you know. So, the other pro heroes there basically asked him if he was sure about this, and he just said that, yeah. Basically, he pointed to Deku and said, if he can train our entire class to become as strong as they were, he can train me just as well. And I have a head start on everyone else. Yeah, normally he doesn't speak like that, but for some reason, in the presence of Deku, he feels calmer and ready to speak, ready to say what he has on his mind. He doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't hold back while he's there. The only reason that is basically because this Deku basically made him realize a lot more. Basically proving to him, yeah, no, people are stronger than some others. If you're not going all out, or doing what you should be doing, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter. Which, in the end, made him actually start thinking, well, having more courage around Deku, no matter who's around him, even if it's his dad. Which, it's not that he's scared of his dad, it's more that he isn't able to actually talk back to him. So, they basically say they're still going to stay here, but that he was going to train with Deku instead of Endeavor. Endeavor decided to tell Deku that they're fighting, like right now, making multiple other hero basically screaming at him, no, 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 with Deku just telling, okay. Every other hero basically telling him, you don't want to do this. With Shoto just basically walking back. Him thinking, if this goes down, I don't fucking want to be in it. Because he's basically just understand, well, the full strength of Deku, or what he should be able to do depending on how his quirk works. So, Deku basically just went up and told Endeavor to do the first shots. With Endeavor being mad with the anger of 1,000 Sun and basically just using a massive blast of fire that didn't do that much to Deku. Yeah, Deku still got hurt in itself, but every damage basically recovered before Endeavor actually took the flames off, making it look as if Deku didn't even get hurt from those flames. And it wasn't as if he didn't use a high strength flames. Heroes basically just asked themselves what the hell happened. Endeavor got mad because, what? My quirk doesn't work. And then, Deku just giving one single punch in the stomach. And Endeavor just falling over. Nobody basically, except Shoto, nobody was actually able to get how the hell that happened. Endeavor himself was just, he was just thinking, this can't be possible. He put me down in one shot, because, after that punch, He's basically on the ground holding his stomach, unable to do anything, being angry at Deku because how can he be so strong? So, after all of that happening, he basically helped Endeavor back up at least, and told him that next time they fight, he should try to prepare before. Which Endeavor basically just got mad at this even more, but didn't try to fight because, yeah, no, I'm already being carried by the guy. If I tried to attack him again, he could basically just drop me and probably actually kill me. So, he didn't do anything. Which Shoto basically was good for that because, oh god. So, yeah, so after that, there's the, training that happens, which, between Shoto and Deku, Shoto basically was just, well, his training was actually just try to fight against me, use whatever the fuck you want, I'm going to defeat you, and everyone else was looking at that, and were amazed by how Deku was just nonchalantly just taking those hits. Some of the heroes basically asked if they could have a try, basically tried to beat him, quote unquote. They just thought we're not going to go all out, everything's going to be fine. And not a single one of them even landed a single hit on Deku. His speed, even though he's semi-perfect, is humongous. So, them just trying to, defeat him normally won't really work that much. Oh god. Yeah, sorry. So, after all that, we go to Gran Torino's agency with Bakugo. So Bakugo basically arrived and got the same reaction as Deku. Reason is pretty easy, he just saw an old man on the ground, covered in blood. So, what the hell would you do? Even if you're the biggest jerk on earth, you would basically at least try to see if he's alright. And this Bakugo in particular isn't a douche, so he goes and help. After helping, actually, Red Torino basically says the same thing, making Bakugo mad. Thing is, Gran Torino basically told him not to make a ruckus. He listened, and then Gran Torino asked him precisely, "Who are you?" Basically just kind of to see what was the first thing Bakugo would say. He was waiting to hear Bakugo's hero name, but no, something else came out, and he basically just said his normal name, Bakugo Katsuki. And he said, "Oh, Well then, you have a lot to learn. Which basically does kind of go with his character. He basically tells Bakugo to get ready, and that he has 3 minutes to catch, hurt Gran Torino. He didn't want to do it at first, until Gran Torino basically showed him his speed, stopped and said, "Now, let's do this. Are you ready?" With Bakugo just placing himself in a battle position, saying, "Let's go." So, they kind of just go at it. And Bakugo actually catches Gran Torino on the first try. Simply because he's actually strong. Compared to, he's strong and has control of One for All better than what Deku did. So, basically after that it was just basically training Bakugo to be stronger, basically. Nothing much. So, Gran Torino basically taught him, kind of the same thing as what Deku learned. To basically use One for All to jump on walls and stuff. Except that compared to Deku, who learned it by himself overnight, Bakugo basically had the entire day to learn it, with Gran Torino basically teaching it. So basically after that, they kind of just kept training until the day of patrol, which he brought him in the city. So, now we go back with Deku. Endeavor still being mad at Deku for being, that powerful. Basically, Deku knew about what Ida wanted to do, and told Endeavor that he wanted to try and go stop some villain that would be doing ruckus or stuff like that. So, does he has the permission to go and stop any villains? Directly saying any, and not something like a precise villain. With Endeavor telling him, if you see a villain, just stop him. If you see one of those monsters, just kill it. With Deku basically hearing, what he wanted. He then told Shoto what he actually planned on doing and the reason he was doing it, and Shoto basically just was like, yeah, do that. Then he asked Deku if he needed any help, and Deku basically looked at him with a face of, are you seriously asking that? With Shoto basically thinking to himself, okay, yeah, that was a dumb question. So, Deku left and basically just found Stain and Ida before it actually gets injured to his arm. Simply because of the sheer speed of Deku. Compared to my Angel Girl Deku, who is a lot faster than this one. He does arrive before that, but only because in the other one, they basically had to wait a bit before her and Vio could ask. In this one, basically, the moment it happened that something was told, he basically just asked, can I go hunt villains and kill those monsters? With Endeavor just telling him, do what you want. So, yeah. This time he actually arrives faster. Bakugo and Shoto won't come to the fight, because basically Deku arrived before before Ida gets injured. Stain asks why he's here, as well as Ida asking the same question. Then Deku telling both of them that he actually came here to protect Ida because of the idiotic thing that he decided to do. Ida tried to tell Deku to get the hell out of there, and then Deku basically made the speech that he did in the anime. A bit different once again, since he has a huge amount of intelligence. He basically says different thing, as well as just the personality being different. So Stain sees him as a pretty good freaking hero. And so he basically tells him that he's going to let him live, but that this one won't be so lucky. And basically goes to try and kill Ida. Sorry. What he didn't plan on, though, was Deku fighting back against that idea. And he felt it hard. A single knee to the stomach, and Stain was basically knocked out. Incapable of doing, anything. So he was stopped. Police arrived later. Stain got back in consciousness and basically said the same thing as he did afterward. The Nomu tried to attack. Deku basically just killed it. Like a single tail swipe, and the Nomu was gone. So, yeah, that was easy. So, after all that happened, Bakugo wasn't even told about this, and Ida was just mad at Deku for basically doing that at first, until Deku literally saved his freaking life, and then again he was still a bit mad. But at least everything was going to be okay. So yeah. So, after basically that, since Endeavor did accept for Deku to go and do stuff, Deku Cell didn't get in trouble, and actually was praised for being able to do all of that, because he was literally told to do it. So after that, we go to the, we go back to school, and everything else will be done in the next part. Hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. If you want, I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the description, so come and join us. It can be fun there. I have a second server, but no, I'm not going to put a link to that one here. Simply because if you knew what it was about, you would not want that to be put like that, so yeah. So, hope you liked it. Natsu, out.